This is a phobia. This is a really strong, distinctive, very repetitive and consistent reaction to something. It's a phobia. It's a real deep-rooted fear in something. Hello everybody, I'm Catriona Morten. I'm a sensory-motor psychotherapist. And today I'd like to talk to you about how to deal with agoraphobia. But before I jump into that, if you're enjoying these videos, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, because it helps us get our message out there to tons more people. Agoraphobia, which I'm sure a lot of you know, is a fear of open spaces. And it affects an awful lot of my clients to varying degrees. It's something that can be there very pronounced at certain times when obviously things are triggered or they're feeling overwhelmed, and to a lesser degree other times. For other people, it's there all of the time and it's a massive issue for them. It's extremely unsettling. It's a phobia. It's a real deep-rooted fear in something. And again, whenever we have a phobia, it's not a choice and it's not a not liking. It's not a feeling vaguely uncomfortable. It's having a complete nervous system reaction to it. And the range of things that people can feel when they either think about or look out into an open space or think about going out somewhere, it's fear, it's feeling completely unsafe, feeling completely out of control, that something unpredictable could happen. They feel incredibly vulnerable and very visible, like everybody can see them. And there will be a root cause for this, especially if it's a really sudden onset, which it can be for some people. Something has happened completely unrelated and suddenly this has come up. And it will be a trigger from something that's been lying dormant in our amygdala that we didn't even know was there, happened to us years ago. Bang, off it goes, and suddenly it's playing itself out. It's like it becomes active and live. Now, when you think about all of those things that I previously listed, feeling unsafe, feeling vulnerable, feeling seen, something unpredictable happens, that can give a slight clue as to what maybe the origins of it were. Some people, they get to that, some people don't. And it's not necessary. It can be helpful of, oh my goodness, yeah, no wonder, because the X, Y, and Z happened. But for some people, they don't know. Now, like I always say, if it's a phobia, it is rooted in something traumatic. If you don't remember, it might be because you were completely dissociated at the time, or you just got no access to that memory, or you were so young that you don't remember anything happening. But it wouldn't be enough to overwhelm your nervous system and to log it as a trauma in your amygdala. So my first go-to thing when anybody comes and it's like, this is a phobia. This is a really strong, distinctive, very repetitive and consistent reaction to something. Then EMDR, provided that they can stay in the window and they don't dissociate, EMDR, brain spotting, fast phobia rewind, they can be a very, very good way to process whatever it is that is coming up. Sometimes it shows up in the processing, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's purely a felt sense in the body. Now, if we can't use EMDR or brain spotting or any of the other processing treatments for trauma, then we can work with it within the body. We can start to, imagine an open space or imagine going out and then, taking a before and after. What seems to be happening in your body now? What's changing? How has your breath changed? Breathing's quite a good one because it's relatively easy to see when someone's breathing has changed, and it can be quite easy for them to kind of go, oh yeah, my breathing's really changed. It's sharp and it's shallow, or it's harder to take the in-breath in, or it's harder to let the out-breath go. And to also be aware what else is happening and changing in your body. What can you feel as your body changing its position? Is it pulling over a certain way? Does it become more difficult to maintain eye contact? Just that observing of what else is happening, because this is all going off in the body, and with any kind of phobia or trauma reaction, it can be really fast. So we want to be able to slow it down. So not, really bringing this thing up and with our whole system's completely out of whack, but just a gentle thought of it, or, hearing me say certain words, or even just talk to how it is they feel, feeling vulnerable, feeling seen, the fear of something unpredictable happening. If I can replicate a little bit of that in the therapy session, then it helps both me and the client start to notice what is actually happening within the body, because it'll be quite significant things. But when you're out of your window, it's really hard to get connection and to sense in to see what's happening, because we're completely triggered. So when we can slow it down, begin to notice, then that gives us a huge clue as to, okay, well, to start processing this, to start widening our window of tolerance to this, to start being able to not be taken down by this, we need to be able to know when these things are happening in our body, what helps it settle. What helps our nervous system go down? What helps all the activated places in our body just be able to settle and not be so switched on? If we're feeling vulnerable, then can we get a sense of strength in our body? If we feel like everything is out of control and we have no control over what's going to happen and something really unpredictable is going to happen, okay, well, what helps give us a sense of control? And it can be such small things, tensing muscles and releasing them in a controlled way, making some controlled movements with your fingers, with your feet. Is there something you can do that you are in control over that can start to just settle this? And if you know that your breathing goes, well, it's like, okay, try a few things, check in with your breathing. Has it just naturally eased by you breathing a bit more spontaneously? That will be a big part. And the other thing about the treatment of it, the moving forward with it, is one, understanding what goes on in the body, getting a sense of, well, what kind of thoughts come up with that, so that you know what it is you're looking, what kind of fear and impact it is that you're looking for. So you know what are the helpful things that will alleviate that fear. And so if fear of going outside, well, what's it like when you look out of the window? What starts to happen? And using your regulating resources as you're doing that to gain a sense of control. Looking out of a different window, trying the same thing, standing with the door open. Knowing I can close the door anytime I like, but I'm going to open the door, I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to manage my activated nervous system and body. Taking a step out. Doing everything in stages so we don't get overwhelmed, because this fear of something being out there and us being completely vulnerable, helpless, something terrible is going to happen. We have to have that as a lived experience, an actual felt sense, and then come in and say, no, I did that, I managed it, I was in control, I'm still breathing, it's okay. And just gradually building up, because the last thing we want to do is overwhelm our nervous system. Every step that we take in that direction, it has to feel like it's a really solid step. Yeah, I can do that first step. Because if we just do that first step, okay, on to the next step, then we have that sense of, oh my God, but there's worse coming. Really embed the first step so it feels solid, so it is not triggering. And, don't worry about how long it's taking, because getting that first step, that first solid foundational step, the other ones after that will be a lot easier, because we've got a bit of confidence, we've got a slightly wider window, and we know that we're on the right path. And we know that the next step is only going to be the next step. It's not, oh my God, and then I'm going to have to get on the bus and go into that. No, it's just the next step. Those ones, they get easier and easier, because our window's wider, we've got more control, and we know that the path that we're on, the things that we're doing, they're working, and we're getting there. So we can't rush these things, because if we have a terrible sense of fear, then the treatment, the steps that we take, they have to feel safe and manageable, because whatever caused this in the first place, it meant that things were not safe and not manageable. So I hope that's been helpful, useful, instructive. If it has, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye bye.